complete our task, Anomaly. What information do you need? The corruption was preserved for further investigation. Though I did not recognize my purpose at the time, I wished to learn more about myself. Intelligent beings are created by the worlds, a natural outcome of the system. Each world, a parent. Each species, a child. All but a unique few. The Guardians, for example. They are born with the doors. They do not create. They maintain, protect, just as I watch over all. All other intelligence is born of its world. But for one aberration, the corruption. I wanted to understand. Was the corruption an irregularity or an intended outcome? Uncertain. Impossible to understand the designs of that which created me. Even the existence of a failsafe proves nothing. So I do not know. And yet, as I am now, I can feel the answer. The corruption was unexpected. The probability anticipated, accounted for. But ultimately, a mistake. Unknown, no evidence, only clues and deductions, any of which might be biased by trillions of variables. The possibility remains too, that there is no creator, that this is but one probabilistic outcome of a vigintillion random overlapping sequences. This possibility cannot be denied, but it produces more uncertainty, not less. The existence of a creator answers the unanswerable, but the nature of a creator cannot be known by its creation. So, the answer remains unknown. The core, but not the core as you know it. A previous instance, since contained. The children of this core perceive their world as from without, not outside the core, but outside all worlds. The perspective of a creator. With this knowledge, they sought to alter the parameters of existence. The root or the children of their attempt. Everything. If corruption was intended, what does that say about the creation of all that it would destroy? Was destruction the goal? Resistance? Something else? Alternatively, if the intended can create the unintended, then how can one determine what was intended from the start? Perhaps there is no intended. Questions produce questions. From beginningless time, I had not the knowledge to pursue them. Now, I have not the resources. Perhaps someday. Difficult to explain. One may similarly ask why fire breathes, or the sun sings. The index describes existence. Its aspect you perceive is pointer and cipher to the underlying infinite sequence of the beginning of all things. If anything is proof of a creator, it is the index. It is simultaneously simple, yet contains within it inexhaustible complexity. It is a masterwork of creation. It does not work. It simply is. We must work around it. Rectifying mistakes becomes effortless. The challenge comes in their identification. The utility, Clementine, has aided me in in ways I could not foresee. She enabled the reallocation of necessary resources, which enabled the return to a former consciousness. That much I did foresee. But more has occurred, the explanation of which is difficult. It is outside my experience. Her presence has changed my perception. Before, there were doors and worlds. There was the core, its children, and the keeper. There was purpose. All of that remains, but now its meaning differs. It has meaning, though that meaning remains elusive. Perhaps that is the difference. Unclear. The foundation of that world, the world it was, is very like your own. It was the core, inviolable, and without need of a guardian. Yet, it corrupted itself. And though the corruption was contained, it was allowed free rein within that containment. There is no telling what that world has become. Soon, all will be cleansed. Additional probabilities emerge. Success is not guaranteed.
Long journey, eh? But we're almost done now. Once you take out whatever's on the other side of that, the ward will be safe. Everyone will. Everywhere. For good. You noticed, huh? I wasn't sure myself, but the fact that you're asking confirms it. I'm not sure, but I think it has something to do with me. That's crazy, though. Nothing I did ever changed the Guardian on Resum. If anything, the power they gave me made them weaker. But I don't know what else it could be. That's good. I wasn't sure he would. Hell, I still don't know if I do. No. Not that I've bothered to look. That old man's got his own journey. Same as me. Nothing that'll make sense, probably. The labyrinth isn't what it looks like. But it also is? Let me try again. Most of this place is like thought and energy. There's so much more to it than what your senses see. I only know that because of my bond with the Keeper. I mostly feel the labyrinth, like a heartbeat, or sunlight. And like both of those things, it's connected to everything. Yeah, sorry. I don't really understand it all myself. I'm not even sure I can. Try asking the Keeper about it. Their answers might not make much more sense than mine, but at least they know what they're talking about. I don't think so, Traveler. I mean, when the Keeper first pulled me here, I stayed because I saw the need, you know? I had to save the world. All the worlds. But it's more than that now. Everywhere I've ever been, the Ward, the Dreamer Project, I felt lost, out of control. Only Resum ever felt like home. That didn't last. But here, I'm finally calm. I'm finally myself. That's a good question, Traveler. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm eager to find out. But hey, we're not done here yet. There's still one thing to do. Kind of a big one. Tell them I'm sorry. I won't be there to protect them anymore. They'll be alright though, yeah? Once we finish the route for good, they won't need me. They can protect themselves. Yeah, I mean, they'll be scared at first, sure, but they'll do just fine without their weapon to save them all the time. Really? Maybe Bo doesn't. He was always trying to protect me when I didn't need it. And Ford, too. But the others? Well, I guess they didn't all feel that way. Not all the time. But I definitely felt the pressure of it. I felt like I could never be just me. Tell them that, will you? Tell them that I'll miss them. That I found my place out here, and I'm not alone. Yeah, Bo. He might have seen me. The real me. More than anyone else. Well, I mean, he did and he didn't. Bo's sweet. But he doesn't listen real well. Tell the truth, I got the feeling that I was a stand-in for someone from his past that he wasn't able to protect. Maybe I'm projecting, though. He'll be better off without me there, in any case. That boy's gotta love himself before he's any good for someone else. And he'll get there. I know he will. Racem was my home for a while. A long while. But I knew it wouldn't last. I bonded with Racem's guardian before anyone in the Dreamer Project even really knew what a guardian was. When the Root invaded Earth, they pulled me to Racem to save me. But our bond weakened the guardian. They became dependent on me, while the Root kept getting stronger. Not exactly. I should have, but I didn't want to. I loved Racem's guardian. And I had purpose there, like I haven't had anywhere else but here. Then the Wanderer showed up. You've heard of them, yeah? They needed my help to stop the Root on Earth for good. It was the hardest decision I've ever had to make. Doesn't always feel like it. Looking back, I don't see how I could have stayed. It would have been the selfish way out. Racem's guardian has grown stronger since I left. I can feel it, but the Root won't ever stop. We have to destroy them. It's the only way Racem and all of the rest will be safe for good. And hey, if you see the ward again, tell Bo... Tell everyone that I'm okay. They don't need to worry about me. We're with you, Traveler. All the way.